Hey there. Alrighty, let's do some cooking in Candy's kitchen. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get where you can see. Alright, let's see. How's that? Okay. First thing I'm going to do, I have the half sheet pan. This is a super pan. I love it because it is, I don't know, you can't see, obviously I can't bend it, but it will not warp. It is heavy. So when you put it in the oven on like 425 to roast vegetables, it won't warp. I have a couple of pans that are very warped, and so they don't lay flat when you put something in them after they warp. So this is the half sheet pan, and I'm going to roast some peppers like that here. Okay, I've had a day and I'm just now cooking supper, and usually I've already got this done ahead of time, but I've just not had a lot of time to prep. I got my salads done, but I haven't had a lot of time, haven't done supper, so I'm going to do a little bit tonight. These peppers will last me about at least 4 days because I won't eat but 2 or 3 at a time. So I'm going to put these in with a little olive oil to the oven on 425. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make chicken pot pie chowder tonight in the rock crock. And so the first thing it says to do is cook your chicken, which I haven't done. Ideally, I would have put this in my slow cooker this morning, but I didn't do it. So I'm going to cut this up, put it in the microwave, and while it's cooking, I will get started on my chowder. Okay, so I've got my chicken cut up. I'm going to put some salt on it and put the lid on it, and I'm going to put it in the microwave. This will probably take 15 minutes to cook in the microwave, and while it's cooking, I'm going to heat up my rock crock that I'm going to cook my chowder in. And then I'm going to saute some garlic, and let's just set this on 15. I'm going to saute some garlic and onion in a little bit of olive oil. Okay, here's my garlic. I have to remember to show you a neat trick with our garlic press about getting the smell off of your hands. Actually, I'll just tell you now before I forget. When you finish with your garlic, if you'll run this under cold water and rub your hand on it, there's something that this is made out of that will help take the odor of the garlic off of your hands. I'm not kidding. Okay, let's put this garlic in here. I know you cannot see that. Let me turn this up a little bit where you can see. Oops, I didn't mean to bump you. Okay. There we go. Alright. So I'm going to put the garlic in here. And this removes the skin for you so you don't have to pull that off. This one's a little big. Let's see if it will go in here. Ooh, it did. It come out both ends. And it has a little comb that you rake off this. And I like a lot of garlic, so I think I'm going to do one more. I'm going to cut up an onion, and I'm going to use the manual food processor. Okay, so let's cut this onion up. And we're going to saute this with the garlic and the oil.
Are you doing something?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Okay, so I have the onion chopped up. I love the consistency that this chops these onions, and no more tears. Alright, I'll put this in here. Now, had I wanted to do a couple of onions, I could have used this for storage because it comes with a separate lid. And then I could just put it in the refrigerator. You just stir fry these onions and garlic together until the onions get tender. Alright, and then the next thing is to put a little bit of flour. And you know what? I have my recipe. I got this recipe out of this cookbook, The Season's Best. Some of you already have this. It is on page number 19, Chicken Pot Pie Chowder. And so we've got the onions in there, we got the garlic in there. Okay, so we're going to sprinkle a little bit of flour over, it says a 1/4 cup. After these get tender, we're going to sprinkle this flour on this and make it kind of thick. Okay, so I moved it off of the stove because it was getting a little hot too quickly, and I grabbed my chicken broth. Now I've adapted this recipe to Weight Watchers, so I didn't use as much oil, and I used a lower carb flour, and I probably should have not skipped using so much oil because I can see it's already sticking. So I'm going to pour this in here quickly. And this is the rock crock. You can start with it on the stove, and then we're going to put it in the oven when we finish because we're going to have biscuits on top of it and that'll brown them. Alright, so that's 2 cups of stock. Now, let's see, what else does the rest of it say? Alright, add the stock. Add some salt and pepper. Here's my pepper back here hiding. Of course it tells you how much, but I just do it just because I've been doing it for a long time. I know how much. Okay, you can always add more. Alrighty. It says bring it to a simmer. Be sure you scrape the bottom. I don't feel anything else on the bottom. And then after that we're going to add milk and my mixed vegetables and some chicken. And then we'll make some biscuits to put on top. Okay, so I always like to check my chicken, make sure that it's cooked enough. And this is 160 degrees, which is the temperature for chicken. And I have my vegetables already in my rock crock on the stove. So I'm going to pour my chicken in. Okay, now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let this simmer on the stove with the lid on. And I am going to attempt to make some dumplings. I am not a biscuit maker by no means, but I have a recipe again of some biscuits that I want to make. I've ate these before with the biscuit. I've tried the recipe, but not making it into like several dumplings. I've just done it like as one biscuit. So let's see how this turns out. So this is fat-free yogurt. I know what you're thinking. Ugh, you're yuck. But actually when it cooks, it's really good. It has a really good flavor. Okay, so let's try this. Mixing this up. Let's see, what can I use? I'll use this. I'm gonna mix this up. Oh, you cannot see. Let me move over a little bit. This is just some low-carb flour and fat-free yogurt. There we go. And I know you're supposed to get your hands in there. All you biscuit makers, I know what you're thinking. Just put your hands in there. And I will in a minute. Well, it's making a really good, that might work out great. Okay, so I got it dumped out onto my mat. And I'm going to roll it out so that I can cut it into strips. I bet you could really pat these out and make biscuits or cut them out, whatever your preference is. I usually, for this recipe, if I'm just making one biscuit at a time, then I just use one container, 5-ounce container of yogurt, and about a 1/3 cup of the Carb Quick, which is one serving. It's called Carb Quick. I get it from Amazon. Okay, now I'm going to boil that over. Let me be careful here. Let me get me a napkin and then take my lid off here before I make a real mess. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn that off because I'm going to put the dumplings on there. So this is almost like a chowder, as in a soup. Of course, the flour will thicken it up some. Alright, and for these dumplings or biscuits, I'm going to cut them with the pizza cutter. But I also could use this. Let me just show you. The handy scraper is really good to cut things like this. See how well that does? You cannot see because my kitchen is not right. Let's pick it up. I'll get it where you can see it. Okay, you can use the slicer like this to cut them, and then you would cut them again. I'm going to use the pizza cutter. Of course, they don't have as much flour in them as biscuits, so they are a little stickier. And if you're watching your weight and you're wanting to do a lower carb meal, this would be a great one. If you're not watching your weight and you don't care about carbs, then make them biscuits. Okay, so I'm going to put these on here. This spatula I've had let's see, since 1997. It's Pampered Chef. It is a great spatula. Holds up well. You can see it still looks good. Okay. I'm going to let this sit for just a minute because my oven is still hot from the peppers that's roasting, and when I take them out, I'll turn my oven down, let it get down to about 350, and then I'll put this in the oven and then show you when I get back. I'll show you how well these peppers turned out. They're roasted perfect. They're brown on both sides, and I don't know how long they were in there, long enough for me to cook all that on the top of the stove. My chicken was in the microwave for 15 minutes, I think. And then while I did the dumplings, so 25 minutes on 425. And then I also cooked this ground beef, and I like to do more than one thing at a time. It's just the way I am. If I can accomplish more in the same amount of time, I'm going to do it. So I cooked this earlier while I was getting all my stuff ready for my chicken chowder. Okay. I think my bag had a hole in it. Shoot. Okay, so let me just tell you what happened just here. I had this bag and I set it next to this pan and it got so hot that it melted. So when I picked it up, ground beef is falling out all over the place. So I have another bag. I'm going to put it down in there and be a little more careful. Okay, so now I can finish putting this in here. Maybe I'll get my dream kitchen one day. I don't really know what my dream kitchen would be, actually. I've never designed a dream kitchen, but I bet I could come up with some things that I would like to have. Okay. Okay, so I've got my peppers. I took some out to put in my plate for supper, and then I put the rest of them in my Tupperware bowl. Love my Tupperware. And thanks to everybody that's had a party recently. Okay, I'm going to clean off this. Look how easy this wipes off. I love this feature about this pan is it's not hard to clean. I wash it, of course. I always like to get this black stuff off before I put it in the sink. I can't hold it because it's too hot, but you get the idea. See how easy it is to get all that off? Okay, so I'll wash that, get all my dishes washed, and by the time I do that, my chicken chowder should be finished. Okay, so I'm going to finish up getting our food on the plate, and I'll show you how everything turned out. I've cooked some vegetables for Noah. Let me drain these just a little bit. This is the micro cooker, and I'm going to put some cheese. I didn't have time to make any cheese sauce. I was washing dishes. So I'm going to put some cheese on this and put it back, the lid back on it, and let it melt a little bit while I put the chowder. Alright, let's set that back there. Okay, alright, let's get where you can see what's going on here. Okay, so let me move my chowder over here where you can see it looks and smells amazing. I kind of think that the dumplings on the bottom didn't get, oh, you cannot see. See, there I go. I kind of think the dumplings didn't get done on the bottom the way I probably would like them to. But they look really good. They look really nice. That is the chicken corn chowder cooked in the everyday pan rock crock. And I did start with it on the stove. And then I went to the oven. It's very versatile. Okay, let me close these up. Oh, while I'm looking, while I have this right here, I'll show you. These are the Twix clips. They are used to close up bags. They're great. They come in lots of different sizes. They come in a bag with different sizes in them. They're called Twix-its or Twix clips. Okay, so let's dip into this chowder. I think this says it's 6. Oh, that looks amazing. If you like chicken pot pie, you're going to love this. Okay. 6 servings. I think I can get a good bit more. And I just realized that I won't have to cook for the next couple of nights. We will eat this. So that's great. Alright. And then I'll take my broccoli out here. Where you can see the cheese. Definitely, the cheese is definitely melted. Noah is going to love this. Okay. I don't have any small tongs yet, but that's one of the things that's on my wish list. Well, did you to get stuck on me. Come on, there you go. Alright. So this is Noah's supper. Here with his broccoli and his corn chowder. And I've got broccoli, corn chowder, and roasted peppers. Give him a little more. A couple of carrots. Alrighty, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I have enjoyed making it and trying out my new recipe for my corn chowder. If you have any questions about anything I use, the rock crock, several of my tools, they're all washed now, but in the turnabout and the micro cooker, just be sure and let me know. Alrighty, thank you for watching.